is up, Kaged Nation? Kevin Jackowitz with the Kaged match, and this is WWE SmackDown for 11/22/19. And I'm going to get right into this. You start out with the SmackDown locker room, and Baron Corbin's there trying to give his motivational speech that nobody cares about, and including nobody watching the program, either live or on TV. And then Roman Reigns comes out, and they kind of bicker back and forth. Roman Reigns is getting everybody amped up, and Corbin and Reigns exchange some words, and then Sasha Banks says, "You boys, done comparing size yet? We're going to go out and do what we came to do." So Sasha Banks leads out some women to the ring. They get answered by some Raw women and some NXT women. That turns into a match. Charlotte Flair from Raw, Sasha Banks from SmackDown, and Rhea Ripley from NXT. Really good match. Nothing wrong with it. It was very cool to see this matchup. Again, something you're not going to see all the time, especially with Rhea Ripley in NXT. It was good, man. They really made Rhea Ripley look strong here. They really made her look strong, and she got the win. I believe it was over Sasha Banks. I don't remember exactly who she won over, but either way, they made her look strong as hell. Then you get Baron Corbin, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler segment, where, Baron Corbin's trying to make things right with Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler from last week screwing up. Then you get a Bayley interview. I think this, I don't remember exactly because it's been a while, but I think this was talking about Bayley and her new image and attitude and stuff, and her just talking up her new persona, which was fine. It wasn't great. Sami Zayn goes out to the ring with Shinsuke Nakamura and shows off this new Intercontinental title, which I actually really like. Some people are saying it looked very plain. I didn't feel that way. I think it looks really good actually, and it has the plates, which is kind of where WWE wants to go for some reason, but whatever. So yeah, it was fine. I really like the belt. Undisputed Era comes out, and there was some bickering back and forth between New Day and Undisputed Era. They had some words, and then Heavy Machinery comes out, which obviously turns into a match. All four members of Undisputed Era, they're taking on the New Day and Heavy Machinery. This was a good match. There were parts of it I didn't like, and if you can guess, it was the Heavy Machinery parts. I just don't like the Otis bit. I don't like the character. I don't like the stupidity. It's honestly fascinating to me. Like, the dumber something is, the more some people just seem to like it. Whatever. Undisputed Era won, so that was cool. Then you get AJ Styles. He comes out. The OC cut a promo. And it amounts to nothing. They're all talking about Survivor Series, and it just didn't do a lot for me. Then you get Daniel Bryan, The Miz. They're having this debate, and then it turns into a match with Bryan and The Miz when The Fiend comes out and attacks Bryan. And I think this was right after we learned that those two were going to be having a match at Survivor Series. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of like the idea, but here's my issue with The Fiend, and this is something that may not be popular. They're building The Fiend to be indestructible, and at some point they got to course correct that. And I have a really bad feeling that once they course correct it, it's going to be the worst possible way. WWE has had a long history of not being able to clinch storylines. So when you have this storyline where this guy is basically invincible and anything that happens to him isn't going to hurt him, he's almost supernatural, you've got to figure out how to get around that. And their writers have proven with a long track history of screwing up stuff like this. So I don't know, man. That's my issue with that. That's my reservation with this whole storyline that is still going on right now. After that, you get a Shayna Baszler-Bayley bit. Baszler chokes out Bayley. Then you get Chad Gable, Ali, and Roman Reigns versus Roode, Ziggler, and Corbin. which really amounts to nothing. The match didn't do much for me, to be very honest, and it all ended in a 3-brand war. Now that I liked how they, you got to have the 3-brand brawl before Survivor Series, and this is the go-home show to Survivor Series. If I'm being honest, so there were some things I didn't necessarily like about it. Although I will say that it was probably better than last SmackDown was. I did like the first match. I don't care about Baron Corbin at all, so honestly, the last match I wasn't all that big a fan of either, to be very honest. Like, I'm sorry, this whole Reigns and Corbin thing I'm just tuning out on. Like I am. I'm just not interested in it. So it was very cool to see Undisputed Era though. So I'm going to give this about a halfway. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Some things I really felt like they did very strongly. Some things I felt like they really could have worked on. Yeah, I just felt like it was very halfway to me, considering it was a go-home show. So ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't entirely impressed. It kept me watching. So that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation. Out.